What is going on, guys? Victor here. Another beautiful day in South Florida. You might not think it's beautiful, but in Florida we appreciate these nice and overcast days, especially when we're doing something like snakehead fishing. So today's video is all about the bullseye snakehead, an invasive fish we have here in Florida. They have spread throughout the state, all the way as far up as Palm Beach County. They started in Broward County, and they've used all these canal systems and lakes that are very interconnected to kind of just spread themselves. They were introduced in the early 90s. We are gonna spend the day throwing these right here. These hollow-bodied frogs, some easy swimmers, a bunch of other stuff, just working the banks and looking for these invasive snakeheads. We're gonna catch them, we're gonna clean them, and we're gonna cook them. And when the weather's like this and overcast, it's really good for them. Snakeheads are hit or miss. When it's really sunny, a lot of times they don't bite because they can see you, but when it's overcast, a little drizzle, a little rain like we've been having all week, it usually fires them up real good. So we should have a nice action-packed video in store for you today. Oh, I got eaten in this tree, Dennis. Damn, he spit it. That was sick. Couldn't get a good hook set because as soon as it hit the water. All right, boys and girls. First fish of the day. Casted right there in that tree. Frog was dangling and he was right on it. Dennis and I just made a really long run from a public park, and our theory is the further you get away from that boat ramp in public park, the less pressure these fish get. Because if someone fishes that same canal as you, even the day before, those fish have lockjaw. They've all been caught, they've seen the lure, so we're trying to get as far away from where we think people have fished. Let's get after it. Oh my gosh, I missed him. Came right off the bank. I don't know if that was a snakehead or a bass, but I think I set the hook a little too early. That's a good sign. Dude, they're everywhere. That was 2 casts in a row, Dennis. But your boy's kooking it. I don't know how you guys can watch this guy. 2 hook sets in a row he missed. So I'm throwing this frog along the bank and reeling it towards me. And a lot of times if those snakeheads don't swim away from you and they hit it, they'll swim towards you and they spit the hook real easy, like those 2 last fish did. But you know what? I can make every excuse in the book I want. Just gonna fire me up to try to get another one. And you notice I'm trying to get as close to the bank as possible because this is where these fish are feeding. They're waiting for lizards, frogs, baby birds, anything to come down off of the bank, and they're going to ambush it as it hits the water. We're getting off course. Dude, I can't stick them to save my life. They're just short striking it. I can tell you this canal is going to be productive. Oh, dude, I don't know what's going on. I got rubber hooks. I saw that fish come out and blast it too. Dennis is saying, you know what, Vic, let me show you how it's done. He's gearing up. He can't watch me miss another fish. So there's that little white pipe casted right there, and he came out right about there. But usually when they hit it once, they don't want to hit it again, especially if they feel your hook set. There it is. Finally stuck one. Feels pretty decent, Dennis. Woohoo! You know, nice little solid 3-pounder. On the board, I think that was my like 5th hit. Finally stuck one. Here we go. Dude, look at that. When they're hungry for it, they're hungry for it. You see that vicious mouth right there? Perfectly resembles a snake. Perfectly built to eat frogs. They got this really wide mouth. And I mean, this guy choked it. That's halfway down his throat. We're gonna need the pliers for him. Sorry, I know your boat's getting a little bloody. You're gonna see me release snakeheads in this video because, number one, they're invasive, but you are allowed to release them as long as it is in the same body of water you caught it in. You're not allowed to transport them. He's a little bit small. We're gonna harvest some for dinner, but I want some bigger ones. You know, different people have different thoughts on them in terms of releasing them. Personally, I don't like to kill anything, whether it's invasive or not, just for the sake of killing it. I'm not transporting him. He's already here, he's already established. I'm not reintroducing him into a new body of water and furthering the problem. I know a lot of you guys aren't from Florida, and even though these fish are invasive, even though these fish aren't a sport fish, this fish has a really big following, and a lot of people wish they were a game fish. They make for an incredible fight. The topwater eats, so I don't mind letting them go. You know, I do like to harvest a few for dinner, but I enjoy catching them. So that's where I'm gonna leave it at that. Water's flying.
Just past that pipe on the right.
That one?
Yeah, just past it. Yep, right there. Saw that?
Yep.
Hell yeah!
As soon as it hit the water. Nice to see. Oh, dude, he pulled. Sometimes you get him, sometimes you don't. So the way this hollow body frog works is it's soft, so when they hit it, it squishes down and those hooks are exposed, but a lot of times if they short strike it, they don't get the hooks all the way. Oh, we just spooked one right here. Oh. There's a few right here that we just spooked. I had one come out and investigate, but didn't commit. Oh my gosh, dude, those are the catch. Those are the fish that just scare the living dog out of you. A lot of times I'm not paying attention and I'll just start wandering off because it gets exhausting just looking at your frog all day, and then all of a sudden you just hear it and you just know you got to set the hook. No, mine's good, I think. Dude, I wasn't paying attention again. That's the secret. I just can't pay attention. He ate it in the lily pads. And once again, didn't set the hook hard enough. Wasn't paying attention. There's one on the smaller frog. Dude, they are chewing in the rain, my boy. Woohoo!
Here. Yeah, this one's there.
You guys, this is one of the best snakehead bites I think Dennis and I have ever been on. It started raining and they love this stuff. You can let go. So I switched to a smaller frog because I was getting a lot of short strikes. And that bigger frog, it takes them, I think, a lot more to get in their mouth. Same thing though, hollow body, just a little bit smaller profile so they can slurp it better. But we've had so many bites already. I don't mind this rain, it's cooling everything off and it's turning the bite on. Oh, dude, he blasted it out of the water! Oh, out of the water! Dennis, it stopped raining.
Oh, maybe we should stay under here.
We just had a nice little squall roll through, which I'm not complaining. It cooled everything off, and the snakeheads are gonna be biting. We had like a 5-minute window where it was just back-to-back casts. We were getting bit in the rain, and they love this weather. Oh my gosh, that was sick. There's a decent one. Sitting right in that tree, huh? Woo! That is what we live for right there. Ready?
Now, can you get him on the boat?
Woo! Man, you gotta love it when you think one is gonna be there and then you make that perfect cast and they're just sitting there waiting for that frog. You can't even see it, you just hear it and you set the hook. It's a good feeling. I haven't really shown these guys off on camera, but let me show you what we're working with. There's Mr. Snakehead right there. I think they're really cool looking fish. A lot of people think they're ugly, but I don't think so at all. That is a beautiful work of art by nature, if you ask me. Everything about them, their morphology is so much different than other fish. So these actually originate in Southeast Asia, and there's 2 different species to my knowledge. There's a northern snakehead and a bullseye snakehead. In the Potomac River up north, like Maryland, Virginia area, they get the northern snakeheads, which get much bigger than this, but in Florida we got these guys. Just look at that. Look at that beautiful bullseye tail. They got that red, almost look like, you know what it reminds me? You know the Lord of the Rings, the eye? That's what it reminds me of, the eye. Just these menacing fish. So still a little bit too small to keep. I'm gonna let this one go. Dude, as soon as it hit the water, Dennis, that's what you gotta love. Oh my gosh, they are chewing, guys. Absolutely chewing. This one's actually pulling a little drag. Oh, it's a big one. Yep. This one's gonna be a netter. It's the biggest one of the day so far for us. Oh yeah, all lit up. This is the brightest one of the day. Fought really good, way more than the others. You see how orange and gold he is. The other ones we've been catching have been really dark. Just beautiful. I love how every single fish is a little bit of a different pattern. And you see those little black spots he's got running along his body. They all have a little bit of a different pattern. And then even on their tail, they got these little white dots. These fish are not very fast. Like I was saying, they're ambush predators. That frog bounces off that seawall. He sees it and he reacts. He doesn't know whether it's a lizard, little baby chick, frog. He just, no questions asked. Look at this. Look at how far down the hatch this frog is too. All the way down there. And I haven't done this yet in the video. I love doing this on these fish. They got a hard head. They call them coconut heads for a reason. Dennis calls it post-traumatic snake disorder. They mangle these things. So this is not what it's supposed to look like. See how separated those hooks get? They got really hard mouths. Should be able to straighten the hook back with this pair of pliers. That's what I like about these hollow body frogs, is you can fish them over and over again. Unlike a regular soft plastic where one snakehead it's basically done, you could catch 10, 20 snakeheads on something like this. So we're actually gonna keep this guy for the cooler and continue on our way. So a big part of this is being able to see really well. And for any fisherman or anyone who enjoys the water, having a good pair of sunglasses is so important. It makes your time on the water that much more enjoyable. I love the company Waterland Co. Been wearing them for about 2 years now. They make men's sunglasses, women's, children's, prescription. They basically got something to fit your style, your needs. And you know, you might take it for granted, but a good pair of polarized sunglasses, you really get what you pay for. I'm rocking the Millikens, the blue glass lens. Absolutely love them. And if you guys are looking for a good pair of sunglasses this summer, you can save 15% off all Waterland Co. sunglasses. Use my code LANDSHARK. I'm gonna have it linked below. Snakehead mission goes on. I knew there had to be one sitting there. That was like the 4th time I casted in that spot. Sometimes when you got a good feeling about a spot, there was a little cuddy hole and I kept messing up the cast. Finally landed perfectly and I got him to eat. Gotta go with your gut. And my gut is telling me right now, you guys should smash the like button. I don't ask for much, but it'll help me out a lot. If you guys are enjoying this video and you like these invasive catch clean cooks, go ahead and like the video. Yep. Dude, he's doing the death spin. Whew. Sometimes they do that death spin like a gator roll and they're coming at you and the hook rips right out of its mouth, but I casted right on that bank and I'm pretty sure he saw it hit the water, followed it underneath the lily pads. I love my job and I have you guys to thank for it, so seriously thank you. Me and Dennis, it's a Friday. We're living our best lives right now. Catching snakeheads on frogs. What more could you ask for?
Come on, come on. Got him? Yep.
Damn, all the way in that pipe?
To the left of the pipe.
Very nice.
He's not huge.
Yeah! Oh no! Dude, that was a good one. That was one that I couldn't turn. That was a goodie too. You guys, we just pulled up into this, when you want to talk about snakehead conditions, overhanging trees, sewer pipes, all this really shallow, this looks good. But you got to be really precise with your casts. That one like just barely ate it. Barely nudged it. On the board again. This is one fish you just never get tired of catching. Even the little guys like this, because every single strike is so aggressive. So for any topwater fisherman, or anyone who likes to really lure fish, it's just so much fun because you get to see it, you know? Come on. Dude, how long did he chase that thing for? Sometimes the old pause and wait gets him. Look at how light this one is. See what I mean about the stripes, guys? Some of them have, or not stripes, this one's got 4 dots all along them. Dennis, how many fish are we up to for today?
I don't know, you've been doing work, man.
Woo! Still fishing that same frog too. A lot of activity over there. Oh yeah! Feels good, Dennis. What the heck? In the weeds too? I can't tell if it's big or if it's just all the weeds. Do you see that? I got a Loch Ness monster right there. At first I was like, do I have a fish? And then I saw all the grass coming up, but there was head shakes. There's a snakehead attached to all this grass right here. Don't want this in the boat.
Freak out.
This stuff feels like a carpet. Yep. Secured the bag. Look at how beautiful that one is. That's like the lightest one of the day. That's a gorgeous fish right there. Gorgeous. On the old boga. I love it when they stick their dorsal fins up. If you shake them a little bit, they really do that. They pronounce their dorsal fins as a defense mechanism. I don't know if I'm the only one. Maybe it's just like the science geek in me, but I love to look at every single fish differently. And every single fish has a little bit of a different color eyeball. You guys see these are like real red and orange. This guy's putting on quite a show for us. He said, see ya. Woo! That's a big one, huh? Dude, that's a giant, isn't it? Dennis did it. Okay, we need the net.
Oh my
Yeah! Alright, in the boat, in the boat. Woo! That's a coconut head.
This might be my favorite.
Woo! Hell yeah, brother.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh my god.
And he's so lit up too.
And the net magic number is...
What is it?
621.
621?
621.
That's a nice one.
A 10 pounder is just
Huge.
freaking massive.
All right, check it out, guys. Look at that stud. Dennis just pulled up this big old coconut head. I saw this thing in the water and I was like, this is a big fish. He put it on the scale, almost 7 pounds. Biggest one we've seen all day. I can't even imagine a 10 pounder. I've never seen one. A double-digit snakehead would be a true beast. But we've just been working our way back towards the boat ramp. And normally snakeheads don't like moving water, which is what we have right here with all the rain in South Florida. And they are chewing. By far the best day I've had snakehead fishing in a very, very long time. We got ourselves a nice canal dragon. At the fillet table, snakehead's been on ice for 24 hours. Another thing you guys notice, when you catch these fish, they got different colors, but when they sit on ice, they brighten up a lot. You see how yellow his belly got? See that real flat head? This fish is built to kind of just sit on the bank. If you look at this, look at how flat his belly is. Like I was saying, they're not really meant for speed. They kind of just sit there, ambush. They have these little pectoral fins that looks very much like a grouper. They kind of just sway back and forth and wait for something to pounce over their head. But yeah, also very slimy. I made sure to, I mean, look at all this slime. A lot of slime on these fish. I made sure to really rinse them off because you don't want that in your final product. So we're gonna start right here, right around the pec fin, go all the way into the head meat, swivel the knife around. I'm gonna go from the head all the way to the tail. You got some pretty big scales for a freshwater fish too. All right, get the knife on the spine and work from the tail all the way up to the head. You guys have seen me cook up snakeheads many of times on the channel. It's a really underrated fish, I would say. Not just for a freshwater fish, but just a fish in general. They're freaky looking, but they are a delicacy where they come from in Southeast Asia. Great mild meat. Nothing fishy about this fish whatsoever. Real mild flavor. So they got a pretty gnarly set of pin bones and rib cage that we got to break through right here. All right, busted through those. Now You guys saw how flat his belly was, so there's kind of a trick when you fillet it. You got to think that you're not just filleting sideways, but you're almost filleting down to get all that belly meat. We're gonna go down on the other side of the snakehead's backbone. Kind of a trickier fish to fillet. If I would compare them to anything, it would probably be a cobia with the way their body lays. These cobia also have kind of a flat belly and a big round head. All right, look at that. You see, the meat looks really good. It's got kind of like a pinkish hue to it, I would say. We line our snakehead up with the edge of the fillet table. And this is the 8-inch Dexter flexible fillet that I'm using. Soft grip knife, and you guys can actually save 20% off all Dexter knives using my code Landshark. You guys have seen me use these knives for the past 5 years on the channel. And I must say so myself, they work very well. For pretty much any fish out there, they got a knife for freshwater fish, saltwater, hunting, scallops, oysters, clams, they got it all. Made in USA for, shoot, I want to say 100 years now, which is pretty admirable to still be able to say that your knives are made in the USA in the year 2024. Okay, just shaving off a little bit of this belly bone. We got dinner, son. I'll see you guys in the kitchen. So we're gonna start out by just making a jasmine rice. I'm gonna go in with some olive oil right here. And I have just crushed garlic. Kind of let that infuse with that oil. As well as we got 2 cups of jasmine rice. And we're gonna just let that toast. So before we add the liquid, I just want to give that rice a little nutty flavor, as well as infuse with that garlic and that oil. We'll let this go for a little bit, just on a medium heat. You know, just so it's not a boring plain white rice. We'll let that go, and then come right over here, Dennis. You know, you guys always see me salt, pepper, garlic, and I'm sure a lot of you guys get tired of it, but, so we got some jerk seasoning right here. We're gonna go onto our snakehead. I'm not gonna do too much because this stuff I tasted already and it's pretty spicy. But this jerk seasoning's got so many aromatics. I can taste the cinnamon in there, coriander, garlic, just a bunch of flavorful stuff. And then this right here picked up at Publix, some cilantro, lime, pepper, salt. So instead of doing salt and pepper, we're gonna go in with this. And this stuff was super flavorful as well. It's got some crushed red pepper in there. My nostrils are waking up. I don't know if you can smell it, Dennis, but it smells so good. Okay, I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Rice is toasted, it's got that nutty flavor. You can start to smell it when that rice hits the heat. It almost smells like you're roasting nuts or something, all right? And you smell that garlic. We're gonna go in with the liquid, just some purified water. And that garlic, that whole clove of garlic is just gonna release a lot of aroma into the rice too. Gonna hit it with some salt. Big saute pan, Camp Chef Woodwind Pro Sidekick. Gonna go in with some oil. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a really flavorful vegetable broth that we're gonna finish our fish in. But I wanna give the fish some color first. So we're gonna go in with the fish, into the oil. And we're not gonna cook them all the way through. I just want to give them color so they're not boring. For some reason, this snakehead piece shriveled up like crazy. 2 minutes, I just wanted to give the snakehead some color, get a little crispiness in the pan, just like that, you know? Because if you were to just poach this fish, I don't know. I like to pan fry the fish a little bit before I hit it with the liquid. Gonna go in with a little bit more oil, and all that dripping down there and all that stock stuff is gonna be a really good foundation for our broth. All that seasoning that came off the fish is gonna just season it up even more. 1 red bell pepper, some red onion. Get that going. Garlic, about like 4 cloves of minced garlic and some lime zest. Some asparagus. And then we got some diced tomatoes. Tomatoes are gonna release a ton of liquid. So here we got 2 cups of chicken stock, some soy sauce, and some lime juice. The juice of 1 whole lime gonna go in. Also, some freshly chopped cilantro. Okay, we're gonna let all this come together. And that same cilantro lime salt, I'm gonna go in with a little bit because we haven't really added any salt, so we're gonna season that up. And I'm gonna put my fish back into this, and it's basically just gonna poach the rest of the time, and everything's gonna cook together. And all those flavors are just gonna marry together. Real simple 1-pan recipe. And look, gotta get all that juice in there. So it didn't take very long, like 5 minutes of poaching, killing the heat, and we're ready to go. So we're gonna go down with that garlic infused jasmine rice.
Oh man, I smell it.
Some snakehead. All right, now this wonderful, delicious broth. I love dishes where your side is basically incorporated into your main dish. Just pile on those tomatoes, asparagus, onion, all that good stuff. And it's rather healthy too. Didn't use a lot of oil, fish is pretty lean. Top it off with some cilantro. So I want mine a little spicier, so I'm gonna go on with some more of that jerk seasoning and then some crushed red pepper. I like spice. And here we go. Let's get a bite of that snakehead. Look at that. That is not a bad looking fish for coming out of a canal. Very tasty. I like snakehead because it's firm. Of all the freshwater fish I've ever cooked, it's the firmest of all of them. Very mild flavor. That jerk seasoning with the combination of that cilantro, lime, salt, good little kick, just like the perfect amount of spiciness. And then your fish doesn't dry out when you poach it in that liquid. It just comes out so juicy and it soaks up all that flavor. I love it.
Well, the fish, this entire dish is very, very delicious. All the flavors are really good. I feel like this is not something that you typically do, and it's really delicious. I'm excited to watch this video because I heard that they had an incredible day of fishing. So yeah, good job.
Thank you, Lil B. I can see you're sweating.
Yeah, this will fit my macros.
So yeah, I finished the plate. As you can see, my face is pretty, I feel like I'm red. not red?
No.
Okay, Brooke says I'm not red, but I'm sweating. Delicious meal. The snakehead's texture is one of the best, hands down. Out of all the fish too, like even saltwater fish, it's delicious. So, great meal by Vic behind the camera, and appreciate it. So, it's a good day out on the water, catching some snakeheads.
No, I'm sweating.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that jerk seasoning gets you.
Did you add more to yours too, Dennis?
No,
No?
not a chance.
I didn't add more, but I didn't think it was that crazy, and I'm usually a baby with that kind of stuff.
I don't know. It was just like everything was so hot. You know when the worst thing is when you bite into a boiling hot tomato. I'm just like, my body's just overheating right now. But I really liked it. And big shout out to Dennis. We went on his boat. He filmed it all. My right-hand man. Lots of exciting stuff coming your way. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.